Hey guys, I have recorded and re-recorded again the intro to this vlog, and so yeah, I'm just going to cut right to the chase because it's a very important topic of conversation. So I'm just going to jump right into it, okay? So if you've been around here for any length of time, y'all probably saw our adoption update video that we shared about a week ago. If you haven't seen that, I'm going to leave a tag right here and you definitely can go catch up on that. There's some super important information in that video that I would love for all of you to hear. But for those who are new, I am just going to read my heart that I shared over on Facebook, and this is going to keep me from being long-winded, and this is going to keep it concise and tell you exactly where my heart is right now. So I'm literally just going to read my Facebook post that I posted a few weeks ago. Okay, here we go. As many of you know, the country in which we are adopting Lily Grace from has shut down international travel since January 2020 due to the pandemic. This also means adoptions in that country have come to a halt. There are well over 400 families waiting to bring their children home. Many have completed the entire adoption process, or like our family, are very close to the end of it, yet no end in sight on when we can travel. Literally, no end in sight. We know nothing more today than we knew in January of 2020. Yet other countries have continued to maneuver through the pandemic, all while allowing families to bring their children home. This is our third adoption process. I have learned through our past two adoptions and have seen firsthand that His ways, His timeline is perfect, even when I cannot see it. For that reason, I have had a true peace as we have walked through all of these uncertainties. I do my best to not allow the articles that float amongst the internet that predict travel to cause angst within me. Also, the fact that our precious daughter was moved into an amazing foster facility allowed my spirit to rest, knowing she was being taken care of properly and well. Until last night, I received notification that our daughter, along with 4 other special needs children, were taken from the foster care facility and put into an institution to receive therapy. This placement could last for weeks, months, or years. There was no notice, no heads up, no reason why they chose our daughter. Our daughter was thriving since moving into this foster care facility. Our daughter was and is so loved by the caregivers in that facility. This is where I must stay vague with my words and why this is happening. My heart sank as I read the news. Our daughter was just stripped from all that she has grown to love and thrown into a new facility with no familiar faces. Again, no one knows where she was taken to or for how long. We have no clue if it's a safe environment or not. Hopeless and anger is all I know how to describe my feelings at the moment. Peace, yep, that's just thrown right out the door for this moment. This mama bear is ready to fight for her, to go to war for her. Yet I have no clue how to do that. Instead, I have to let Him fight my battles. I was told that I need to gather prayer warriors to pray not only for our daughter, but for the orphan crisis within this country. For whatever reason, other than the Holy Spirit, I see a vision of thousands gathered together, unified in spirit, praying for this specific concern. Power in numbers, maybe. Power in the untouchable faith of believers and claiming that the Lord's mighty hand will move this mountain. Yes. While it seems cheesy to myself and maybe to others, I feel like I'm to gather an army of prayer warriors to set aside a certain time to pray and fast. So I shared that on July 26th. So that's been, a good 3.5 4 weeks. And as I said earlier in this video, when I feel the Lord moving on me, when I feel like He's kind of instructed me to do something, I'm not one to just blurt it out and to just immediately move on it necessarily. Not because I'm trying to procrastinate or I'm fearful of where He's leading me, but because I just take very seriously when I claim and when I speak out that God is instructing me to do something. I take it very seriously, and I want to make sure that I'm not running off emotions, but yet running off of the Lord's instruction. And I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but that's where I'm at. And so finally yesterday I was like, we've got to do this, because it just keeps coming back in my mind. An army of prayer warriors. I just see hundreds or thousands of people uniting, praying in unity that this mountain will be moved. Not only for the 400 families and the 400 plus orphans waiting in China, but for the orphan crisis across the globe, because it's a real thing, y'all. It's a real thing. And there's just not enough people stepping up to say yes. So here's your call to action, and here's my call to action. On Sunday, August 22nd, which is tomorrow, we are going to have a day of fasting and praying for the orphan crisis across the globe, praying how can your family stand for adoption. Is it to pursue adoption? Is it to bring a child into your family? Is it to financially help someone else that is adopting? Is it to just offer love and support maybe to someone close to you who has chosen adoption and who maybe is walking a really silent, hard journey with their child that they brought into their family? There are so many ways that you can play a part and support orphan care, and this is exactly how you can do it. Be a part of our day of prayer on Sunday, August 22nd. And trust me, I know there are a lot of people who are going to be seeing this video well past Sunday, August 22nd. If you could, please pray. Please set aside a time to pray for not only our family, but for the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other families out there who are so desperate to bring their child home and they have no answers. I don't think you can possibly understand how your heart can miss someone that you have never met. It's not a good feeling. And on the flip side, y'all, these children, these orphans that are living without families, they are living a life that no one should have to live. They are living a life that was just handed to them of no choice of their own. I reached out on Facebook to try to find as many families as I could who are in the midst of adopting a child from China. And I just want to share with you some of their names, some of their faces, so that you really can connect with them. The orphan crisis doesn't become real until you start putting those little faces with names, with a story. And then it becomes very like, oh my goodness, this is not just a file, this is not just a number in line. This is an actual child with a face and a personality and a story and all of those things, and it becomes very, very real. And I feel like it's the same situation here. I want you to see the faces of families waiting, the faces of families who have kids in another country, who are ready to come home, yet there's no end in sight on when that will actually happen. So obviously we cannot share the faces of the kids that they are adopting, but I want to share the families and who they are adopting.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed.
Thank y'all so much for joining. Again, just drop me a comment below any time of the day, any month of the year, whenever you're watching this, and just let us know that you're part of this movement and petitioning God to move the mountains that stand before us, because we can't do it on our own. Thank y'all for joining, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.